welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see, I'm doing something that I think is super fun and something I just always chat to people about. So as you can see, there's a hefty stack of books next to me, and I just think the whole book community and reading is just like the most therapeutic thing and just such a love in my life. So I thought, why not? I need to do an updated video on all the books I've either given 5 stars to or all the books I would just recommend to people, because I just think hopefully you'll love them as much as I do. And if you don't, that is so fine. If you're in the mood for a book and you want some recommendations, keep watching this video because I have a stack. Basically all the books I have picked are books that still cross my mind every day, characters I think about. That's pretty much what makes me rate a book 5 stars, is like that feeling it gives you after. You can't stop thinking about the book. You want to tell someone like what happened in the book, or you just want to relate to other people who have read the books. So definitely leave me comments, DM if you have a love for these books, or if you're going to try them. Like, I would love to know. So without further ado, hit the like, subscribe, all that jazz. Let's get into the book stack. First 2 books I'm going to recommend, I've already read them, and are from the same author, and I read these maybe 2 years ago now, or one of them more recent than the other, but I loved these books and I still think about them. The first one is The Flat Share. Now this book actually I've seen, I think it was on Stan, or no, maybe, I don't know, it's on some streaming services. They've actually turned it into a TV show, and I watched it and I thought it was really good. It was so similar to the book, which I think is amazing. Books turning into TV shows seem to be like all happening at the moment, which makes it so exciting. It makes it really motivating to want to read the books. Enemies to lovers / they don't know who each other are, but they're sharing the same bedroom. Leon and Tiffy, she gets the apartment during the night and he gets the apartment during the day. They have completely different schedules, so they never ever cross paths, and they literally are sharing the same bed just to save money. Tiffy's just gotten out of like a really toxic relationship, which you also go through in the book. But yeah, highly recommend, because it just keeps you in suspense. And basically the only time they communicate is through sticky notes that they leave behind, and it's really good. So by the exact same author, and it is called The Switch, and I actually don't know which one I love more. This one I think really grabbed at my heartstrings because it involves a grandma and a granddaughter, and basically they switch lives, and it is just like, this grandma is just the coolest grandma, and she takes on her granddaughter's life. And oh, it's really good. There's some sad events, there's some happy events, and like I just couldn't stop reading because every chapter goes from the grandma's life back to the granddaughter's life, and how they've completely switched lives. So it really keeps you turning pages, because every chapter you're like, wait, I need to read her point of view now. So highly recommend that one and that author overall. Beth O'Leary, I just love her writing. It's easy to read. Okay, the third book I'm going to recommend is Better Than the Movies. I can't remember if I rated this a 4 or 5 star, but I love it. It is a cute, easy read. It is enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, even the cover. It's like grumpy sunshine, like her neighbor Wes. She just thinks he's such a pain in the butt, but he helps her out when she really wants to get this other boy that she thinks is like the boy of her dreams. So yeah, it's very cute. This wouldn't be a book recommendation without recommending one of Colleen Hoover's, which I know a lot of people love. Colleen Hoover has a lot of great books. I've gone off her bandwagon a little bit recently, but I have binged a lot of her books, and I think you'll see Ugly Love, Verity, I've read all of them. It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us. We all know that's turning into a movie adaptation, which is super exciting. But so far my favorite Colleen Hoover book has been November 9. I don't know why, I feel it's underrated. Whenever anyone asks me, have you read Colleen Hoover, what would you recommend? This is my go-to. I just think it is so beautiful. It's a page turner because basically this couple only ever get to meet up on November 9th. So to me, that just makes me want to pick up the book, because I'm like, okay, every November 9th, what happens? Like, that is a long time to wait to meet your lover. So that is enough said to make you want to pick up this book. I think it is really good. Like, I love it. I've currently recommended it to one of my friends at the moment, so I can't wait to chat to her about it. My next book is a young adult crime kind of book, thriller, not really scary, but definitely young adult, and it's a series, but I'm actually recommending the third book. But of course you need to read the whole series, so this is kind of a series recommendation, but it is Holly Jackson's As Good as Dead, Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, and this is the third book. And the third book I loved. I thought it was a slow start, but then I just couldn't put it down towards the last, like 2/3 of the book was just amazing. And yeah, you definitely need to read the other 2 books to get it, but I just think this young adult series was so beautiful and easy to read. And it's like this young girl, it's like a podcast, and she's trying to solve a crime that happens in this small town. And the fact that there's like a podcast in it, it was like modern day verse following the clues and wanting to find out what happens. So if you like that kind of style, I feel like you definitely like this. Next book I read a long time ago now, like a year and a half. I feel like it was in the peak of lockdown, but for some reason I just still always think about this book. I think it's underrated. I do remember hearing about it at the time, but it's a book I would still highly recommend to people. So this is Red, White and Royal Blue. Casey McQuiston. What happens when America's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales? So it is like politics involved. It's very like fireworks, it's a bit spicy, so definitely not for the younger ones, even though the cover kind of gives you that vibe. It's definitely spicy. It is really, really cute. It had me like, you know, chanting for these 2 men, and I loved it. I love the storyline. It begins as a fake Instagrammable relationship and kind of rivals against each other, but it turns into such a beautiful love story. But I also think this book made me cry, so if you want to cry, maybe people aren't as emotional as me, but I love this book. And the cover, I love the cover. It's a series that I haven't actually yet finished, but I'm going to recommend it because I love it. And it's a series that I'm like slowly getting through because I kind of don't want it to end. It's very well known, the Addicted Calloway series. I don't know which book will necessarily end up being my favorite, but this is the first one, Addicted to You, and it is so good. Lily and Lo's relationship, and basically Lily is a sex addict and Lo is an alcoholic, and basically it's their 2 addictions that kind of are driven to each other, and they start off as it's a fake dating trope, and it is just so good. It is sad, their addiction, but it is really, really good the way it's explained, and so far I love the series. But yeah, this next is another series, but is, I don't even know if you'd technically call it a series because you can literally fly through the 5 books in like the length of 1 book because they're all like 80 to 100 pages. It is so easy to read, but it was so addictive is the best way to explain it. Is the Mindfuck series. The Mindfuck series, there are 5 books. It is just gripping. It had me like doing like one of these, like you just can't look at it sometimes because you're like, oh my god, that is so gruesome. So like, I don't know if you can't handle maybe too much gruesome stuff, but to me it wasn't the main plot of the story. But basically this girl seeking revenge with her best friend who's helping her out from basically their childhood trauma, which you find out all about as each book goes on. So it's kind of like a mystery because you're also trying to understand why they do what they do. But she falls in love with the detective who is on the case. So it gets juicy and addictive. We're down to my final 2 physical books, and then I want to recommend 2 books on my Kindle. But I'm currently on the 3rd book out of the 4, and you can probably guess it is the Magnolia Park universe. And this is the 2 books. The first one follows Magnolia Park and the 2nd book follows Daisy Hates. Oh my god, these are 5-star books. I cannot recommend these enough. I know it's not for everyone. It does have toxic traits in it, like major toxic traits, but it is literally like everybody says, it is Gossip Girl drama. You're following these rich kids in London who basically have very, very toxic relationships with boys. There is cheating involved, there is constant going from one to the other, but there's these loves that they just can't seem to like get rid of. And you will cry, you will be turning pages because you need to know what happens next. They always end on a cliffhanger, which leads you on to the next book, and I am currently on the 3rd book. So I'm sure overall all 4 books are a 5-star series for me. So far I've just read the 2, but please, 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 somebody read these series with me right now so we can chat about it, because I have not read a series like this, like so toxic but so like page turning. There is a lot of spicy scenes as well, but yeah, my god, I love these books. And the covers, this one has to be my favorite cover. Not favorite book, but favorite cover. I love it. There is one other book I forgot to mention, and I gave this book a 5-star recently, so it definitely needs a mention. It is new. It is the first ever book, I believe, published by this author, and it is also on Kindle Unlimited. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I've also heard that this is the first book of a series that's coming out, so you bet I'll be reading the whole series, because this book was so juicy. It was spicy, it was romantic, it was so cute. It had pulls at your heart, but basically it is a ice figure skating dancer and a hockey player. It is about Anastasia and Nate, such cute names as well, but her ice skating partner kind of holds her back from being able to have a boyfriend. He is quite toxic in her eating habits and all about their career in this winning championships and everything. But when she kind of finds Nate and like they find their way, it's just so cute. So 5 stars. I feel like he's not going to stay. Physical books are done. I love recommending them. And the last 2 books that I read on my Kindle, oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. We all saw that coming. But the last 2 books that I read on my Kindle, I need to recommend, because if you have a Kindle, you can actually get these on the Kindle Unlimited. So other than your monthly subscription, you don't even have to buy these books. So you're basically saving dollars. And when I tell you, you won't be able to stop talking about these books. You can't. So I'll pop them on the screen, but it's The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret. These books are like a 6 out of 5 stars. My boyfriend does not read books, and I could not stop telling him about the entire storyline. I was like, oh my god, I just finished these books, like they're amazing. I told him the whole thing. He was like, wow, that actually does sound really interesting. Low-key, don't know if he was just saying that, but I need someone to chat to these books about. They are incredible. And basically it is this girl fresh out of prison, and she needs a job, so she takes on a housemaid role for this rich family with a daughter. She's involved, she needs to cook, clean their house, and do all these things. But it takes you on a whirlwind. I'm not even going to tell you. There's just twist after twist after twist. And I read both books in 2 days. I read a whole book in a day. Less than 24 hours. I could not put it down. It is so easy to read on the Kindle. It's just like flick, flick, flick. But yeah, amazing books. I need to talk to someone about. These ones are thrillers. They are suspenseful and huge twists. That is it for my book recommendations. These are all the books that I would recommend to anyone, depending on what genre they're asking me for, but these are all books that I've either rated 5 stars or I just cannot stop thinking about. So I love when other people read them and we can chat about it. But let me know if you like me bringing kind of my book content to my YouTube channel. I know my YouTube channel is more lifestyle, fitness and health related, but books is something I do for my mental health. It is such a great way to escape to another world and enjoy it, and it makes you fall asleep quite easily as well, with less screen time. I read so many books. My goal this year is actually to read 40 books. So that is on my Goodreads. You can follow me along on Goodreads, where I don't know, you can see sometimes I remember to write reviews. I'm not very good at doing that, but I always put my star ratings on there. It's a good place to go if maybe you like my taste in books and you want to see what other books that I rate really highly, then definitely check out Goodreads. But let me know what you think, because I could chat books all day long. It's like our own little personal book club. So definitely let me know if you read any. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy. As usual, lots of love from Lilybelle Lifts, and I'll see you in my next video. God. That's today's workout done.